Welcome, everyone. Here with Roger Erickson. He's Senior Managing Director at Sotheby's International Realty, and we're talking about high-end real estate. I gather, Roger, that right here in Manhattan, where you specialize, there is really no let-up in the demand for really high-end properties.
Now, high-end properties are, first of all, the really great quality apartments and townhouses are very few to come by. And there are many, many more buyers for high-end property than properties exist. Recently, I sold an apartment in one of the best buildings on Fifth Avenue at 834 Fifth to clients that were not even in Manhattan when it came on the market. They were in Hawaii. And we negotiated the entire purchase while they were away, sight unseen. The only person who saw it was their daughter. And it sold for almost $30 million.
So there's no shortage of buyers, there's no shortage of money, and there's no shortage of desire for these prime properties.
No, unfortunately, the only shortage we have is the properties themselves.
What are the wealthy looking for in a typical high-end property? Start with the apartments, the co-ops, the townhouses. But then I suppose in residential areas outside of inner cities, there are many things that are the same that they want.
I'm sure, yes, absolutely. One of the first key element that I find a wealthy high-end buyer is looking for is that wow element associated with a property. I have a high-end client now, for example, who is building out an apartment in Tribeca where he has a whole floor, an enormous terrace, and is putting a swimming pool on the terrace. So for him, when you walk out there and you've got this 60-foot lap pool in the middle of Manhattan, that is his wow. Other people in the Hamptons being directly on the ocean, on Gin Lane.
So a view can be a wow. A high ceiling can be a wow.
Right.
A skylight could be a wow.
Exactly. A huge place can be a wow. We sold last year a 9,000 square foot full floor in One Beacon Court, which is a new building that went up on 58th and Lex. And the fact that it was 9,000 square feet with two huge terraces, that was a huge wow.
What is size really important to most high-end buyers?
Size is very important. Most people today are also having more children than they used to. So we're finding that the apartments that were built in New York no longer accommodate the size that's required by the new high-end buyer. So very frequently they will be putting together two or three units.
Apartments, breaking down, rehabbing.
Looking for the townhouse that can offer 20, 30,000 square feet.
How important is security to the truly affluent?
Well, in high-rises it's not really an
issue. Yeah.
In townhouses, it's no longer, it used to be, pre-Giuliani, it used to be somewhat of a concern. But lately, everyone that has purchased a house, and I've done this now 20 years, I don't know one of them who's ever had an issue with their property, ever being broken into or anything like that. So it hasn't become that big a deal. And most high-end buyers have their own built-in security, be it a full-time housekeeper, houseman.
Do most, we've had rising interest rates. Is that in any sense, I should ask this earlier, an impediment to the high-end buyer?
No, because they really are cash buyers. Mm-hmm. I have a lot of friends in the mortgage brokerage business who I never give any business to because inevitably they're paying cash at the closing. You
mentioned a moment ago that sometimes buyers in Manhattan will buy two or three adjoining apartments and refashion them into one. Outside of Manhattan, are knockdowns still prevalent?
Very definitely.
In the Greenwiches and so forth?
Well, even, yeah. I mean, back to the Hamptons, I have a client who just bought a brand new house, a spec house just built. They call it a McMansion because it's kind of one of these like big Hampton properties. Right on the ocean on 3 acres in Southampton. They're living in it this summer. Next year, they're tearing it down and building their own house from scratch, even though that is a brand new house.
It's a brand new house. They just didn't have what they want, which leads me to the next question. Are there risks that what you as an owner want in the house, either by way of decor or features, might be an impediment to selling that house because your taste, your desire for the 60-foot lap pool, well, maybe that that may not attract somebody else.
It can be. I had an apartment on Central Park West that was designed by Philippe Stark, and it was very specific. The first time we sold it actually for about $12.5 million. Last summer, the right woman who just loved it completely, wasn't really officially on the market, we brought her through, paid $25 million because it was exactly what she wanted. But you do have to be sometimes lucky to get that one person who's going to like your taste if it's a little...
That's right. If you've designed it in French Provincial,
Right.
well, you've got to sell to somebody who likes French Provincial
Right,
or whatever,
yeah.
you know.
Especially in houses, and yeah, it happens a lot. You do need the right mix.
Are there mistakes that high-end buyers typically succumb to, or not typically, but that are common to them? Do they pay too much? Do they fall in love too fast? Do they... what do they not see in the buying process that can later come back to bite them? Is there anything that comes to mind?
Actually, the high-end buyer tends to be a very successful individual who does great in their business, and it carries over to their real estate purchases. They tend to buy correctly, really exceptionally high quality, and in Manhattan and other key areas, those kind of properties have just consistently continued to rise.
So they're discerning customers just the way they would run their business.
They know how to do it.
They know how to do it. Well, God bless them. Thank you very much.
Thank
Roger
you.
Erickson of Sotheby's International Realty. And, of course, you can watch more on the high-end part of the world and wealthy clients Sunday night on High Net Worth on CNBC. Thanks for watching.